The iPhone 17 is an awesome phone. I know many will agree, and I think many will actually argue that the iPhone 17 is a better value than the iPhone 17 Pro. Now, I want to just kind of stick with the iPhone 17, put aside the iPhone 17 Pro for right now, talk about why it's an awesome phone. So with design, Apple did keep things similar to its predecessor, 16 Pro. When you take a look at it just at first glance, you're not going to notice a difference. I actually don't. From the sides, from the top, from the bottom, really there's no difference, right? Everything is in the internals, in the inside, as well as with the front. So when you come to the front of the phone, that's when you're going to notice a change with the front of the device of the iPhone 17. You get some really great improvements. First of all, Ceramic Shield 2, Apple says it's tougher with fewer, scratches and things like that. With, scratch resistance is better. It's not glass, shatterproof. So it's still glass. It's still going to scratch. Still going to crack at some point if you put the amount, certain amount of force and pressure and put it through those tests, which I'm not going to do. But I trust Apple. It's probably been improved. But the thing I like about this display the most is slimmer bezels. It's got a symmetrical front, which makes it feel premium without being super flashy. I also do love this black color that, now we can talk about the Pro. Apple didn't add to the Pros. Hopefully they will in the future, but as of right now, it doesn't look like they're going to. But the thing that Apple did finally is add 120 Hertz. Pro Motion on the base iPhone. 3000 nits of peak brightness. Slimmer bezels with a slightly larger display size, 6.3 inches. Essentially, that Pro display that you get on the 17 Pro is right here on the base iPhone 17. And once you use an iPhone 17, if you have not used a 120 Hertz display phone, you're coming from an iPhone 16 or 15, you get on this, there's no going back. You're not going to be able to use it. You're going to notice the difference. And I think that's why for so many years Apple kind of, did an upgrade. Maybe it's because one, they were like, oh, Pro Motion is a Pro feature, 120 Hertz. But two, there are still quite a few people who have not experienced what 120 Hertz was. Yes, a lot of people do have a Pro iPhone, but there's still a lot of people who didn't, so they didn't get to experience that Pro Motion greatness. And now they do, because I don't think it's a Pro feature. I think it's a standard feature that should have been with the iPhone base model for years, but hey, we finally got it. That's what really matters. But Apple did a phenomenal job with this display. You would think they would cut corners being the, not the Pro iPhone and not adding a lot of things like having higher brightness, stuff like that. They did not cut any corners with this display. That's what I love. I think that's the biggest upgrade with the iPhone 17. Now we also do get in the performance department the A19 chipset. Now it's a monster. It runs everything incredibly smooth. Yeah, it's not the Pro chipset, so it's not going to be as powerful, but they are still both powerful. A19, A19 Pro, whatever. Like, it'll still take care of everything you need. Whether you're like a casual user, or I can't even speak, it's getting late, or whether you're like a heavy user like myself, you won't have any issues with the performance here. You're going to be gaming, using it for social media, editing photos or videos. It never stutters or it never gets super hot. It gets warm and a tad bit warmer than the 17 Pro, but it doesn't get warm to the point where you have to set it down. iOS 26 is also, if you ask me, optimized very well with this phone. Transitions are great, gestures are great, animations feel effortless. Can't say the same with my past experience of the 16 and the 16 Pro using iOS 26. That's where I would come across a lot of hiccups and bugs. I hope it stays this way, Apple. Please keep it this way. So if you're going to be using this phone for heavy multitasking, it's going to feel natural. You can keep a ton of apps open in the background without any slowdown whatsoever. I really, really do like this. Like, it's basically Pro level speed in a more affordable body. Now moving on to the camera. So the camera's right here, a dual 48 megapixel camera with a main and ultra wide, crisp, detailed results every single time, both for photos and for videos. It's great. And the new image pipeline handles exposure and dynamic range like a champ. Its shadows and highlights are balanced perfectly. Low light performance is also really great improvement over its predecessor. There's less noise, there's more detail. You get improvement with the front-facing camera, 18 megapixel front-facing camera with center stage. It's great. It perfectly frames you during FaceTime calls and Zoom calls, and also the fact that it's got that square lens, so you can now record front-facing horizontal footage without switching, into landscape mode, your phone, as well as for photos. So it's great. It also does have dual capture right here, which I think is perfect for content, for making content. Awesome idea, if you ask me. But just video recording in general, like, it's just so consistent, so smooth. I think if you want to get especially into the video recording for content, this is going to be that phone, and you don't want to break the bank paying $200-300 extra to get a Pro. This is it, getting amazing results. The battery life has been very good. You can push through a full day, maybe even a full day and a half with decent usage, not like super heavy usage like myself. That's when you kind of fall down to just one day of using it, and then you have to kind of charge your phone. But if you're like mixed use, like here and there, it's going to last you a full day and a half. If you are super light, like calling, texting here and there, which I know some people who have the iPhone 16 barely use it, they don't charge their phone for like 2-3 days. And they end up forgetting, oh, I forgot to charge my phone. Well, yeah, it's been 2-3 days since you need to charge your phone. So they forget they even have a phone sometimes. So it does make sense. The lighter the user you are, the less you're going to need to charge it. It's common sense, right? Well, this phone definitely lasts like an hour and a half to 2 hours longer than the iPhone 16 does. And I'm essentially ending the day with like 35-40% of battery life, which is awesome. iOS 26 optimization, A19 optimization, the battery is going to perform much better overall. But I think Apple did a great job with this device. Like, the value you get is great. It's still expensive, $829 for the unlocked here in the US for 256 gigs for the base, which is a plus. So good job, Apple. They got rid of 128 gigs, made 256 gigs the base for the same price. So they didn't raise the price. Good job. I think that's a good value for what you're getting. You're getting flagship level performance, a great build, and awesome cameras at a more reasonable price when compared to the Pros. You get long-term software support, 6-7 years of software support with the iPhone 17 series. Although Apple doesn't publicly say, hey, we're going to support the phone for 7 years, that's usually been the trend with them. Like, you can buy this phone and comfortably use it for years. Like, you can use it to 2030, 2031, and it'll probably still work. But just to wrap things up, the iPhone 17, it's not trying to be flashy. It's not trying to be like a premium, elegant looking phone, which, by the way, I think it is. It's just really good at everything it does. Does it do everything perfect? No. But it does it really well. Great battery life, a sharp display, consistent performance, reliable cameras. It's the phone that you can trust, and just the one that works every day. Like, I used to work at Best Buy, and I'd have customers come in, they're like, hey, I just want an iPhone that gets me through the day. It just works. And you get this here. If you want a dependable iPhone that nails the essentials without overspending, the iPhone 17 is simply awesome. It's the phone that I would recommend. But I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you did, definitely be sure to super smash that like button, comment down below, and best of all, share this video because it really does help out the channel out a lot. It will help push my content out to more people. If you want to check out this case that I use for my iPhone 17 right now, it is from Pitaka. Links will be in the description down below. And also definitely be sure, I'll leave a link to my Apple Watch band. I really do like this, like a Milanese loop. It's really cool and affordable too. So got that from Amazon. Links will be in the description down below. But that's been it for me, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode.